They keep jumping from universe to universe and they're like, we need to find our way back home. And one of the episodes, they jump to a universe that looks like their universe. And they're like, is this home? And he goes to his house ka gate and he moves it. And he's like, see, if my gate creaks, we are home. If it does not creak, we are not at home. He moves it and the gate doesn't creak. And he's like, you know what? I guess we'll have to keep finding. They go through the portal. The portal shuts. His house ka main door opens.
And it creaks.
A repairman comes out.
Wow.
I'm so glad we managed to fix the gate.
Oh no.
I really hope they come back. And that's how the episode ends.
Oh, this was good.
Goosebumps aa rahe. Do you want to do films and movies?
Yeah. We want to do films and movies.
Audience, whoever's watching, I thoroughly apologize. But now we are moving on to the next segment. We will start with movies first.
Yeah.
Mainly because before the stream started, Vaibhav asked me, Sahil, what are you? Shah ya Bulla? Shah ya Bulla? A lot of people are confused. Sahil, Bulla? तुझे पता है ना बुल्ला का मतलब क्या होता है? ओ हैदराबाद में बुल्ला. बुल्ला मेरा real surname नहीं है. मेरा real surname है Shah. Why did I choose Bulla? When I was in college, I saw a movie called Gunda. जिसमें main character बोलता है मेरा नाम है बुल्ला. रखता हूँ मैं खुल्लम खुल्ला. Ever since then, I got excited. मैंने Facebook पे मेरा नाम बदल दिया Sahil Bulla. Then I started performing. And I'm not even kidding. It was early on in my... Till date, in comedy, people call me Bulla. Varun Thakur message karta hai, Bulla kya kar raha hai? You know, stuff like that. Till date, people call me that. When I started performing, I remember my first ever open mic, Tanmay was hosting. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sahil Bulla. And I'm like, nahi yaar, bhai, Shah hai, Shah. And I decided I will stick to Shah as my stage name. But social media pe, I said, you know what, Bulla rakhte hai, Kida ke liye. That is the reason why I'm Bulla. I'm a major Gunda fan. I have seen that movie so many times. I remember I met Mukesh Rishi at the airport and I'm like, sir, Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, like all these, I've met them and I've just been like, hi, hello. Shah Rukh also I've worked with also. And I'm like, I'm obviously fanboyed. I love Shah Rukh. But when I saw Mukesh Rishi, oh my God, आंसू आ गए. So I'm like, sir, Gunda मैंने कितनी बार देखा है. Sir, अरे sir, एक बार आप बोल दो ना, नाम है बुल्ला. He's like, क्या घटिया movie थी. I'm like, but please बोल दो ना यार sir. What I'm going to do, and as I told Vaibhav and Disha, is that I don't want to give you guys records of movies that everyone sees because I have seen a lot. I genuinely watch a lot of content, consume a lot of content. So you could say a movie. Give me a movie.
Khosla.
देखिए, Disha, give me a movie name.
Luck by chance.
देखिए, give me obscure. Come on, give me obscure. Give me something.
TV shows चलेंगे?
TV shows दे दो, okay?
Hindi TV shows.
You want obscure Hindi TV show? Okay, हमने ली है शपथ. Cops versus supervillains. That is obscure. They time travel back in time to fight dinosaurs. That is an episode. It is there. It was on live. Sub live okay, whatever that channel was. YouTube हमने ली है शपथ. Sorry.
चलो एक इंडी obscure अभी मूवी जो दिशा ने recommend की थी, Waltz with Bashir.
नहीं, वो नहीं देखी है. I am stumped. So Waltz with Bashir, I will definitely check out. So my list of movies, okay, and there are a lot of movies. I'm going to give you obscure movies that are in a very bizarre zone because I love bizarre comedy. I love obscure comedy. So, and I'll start off that list with something called Kung Pao Enter the Fist by this guy called Steve Odenkirk, if I'm not wrong. Steve Odenkirk took an old Chinese movie. Then he green screened himself into the movie. So now he would react to, so the girl would say like, I don't love you. And he cuts to him saying, but I do. He did that. Then he dubbed all the voices of all the people. So he looks at the Chinese lady, he's like, do you love me? And she goes, that's the movie.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
That's the reaction I wanted.
Yeah.
Take your Waltz with Bashir. I give you Kung Pao Enter the Fist. There's a scene where someone punches him in the stomach and his entire stomach में एक O-shape का hole आ जाता है because the part of his body flies out. Bro, I love obscure, fun time pass comedies. For me, a childhood favorite was Shaolin Soccer. Seeing that movie, I have laughed so much. That and Kung Fu Hustle. Every time it comes on TV, I don't care what I'm doing, I will watch it. Star Wars, I don't want to rant and rave about it, but you guys know I love Star Wars. Spaceballs is a parody on Star Wars by Mel Brooks. Okay, you have to see Spaceballs, and Spaceballs has jokes like, hey, can you jam the signal? Someone throws jam on the radar. Spaceballs also gets very meta, where the main villain is like, what did we miss? And the guy is like, 1 second. Then he goes to the computer and he puts a Spaceballs DVD in the computer and he rewinds. That's how meta the movie is.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a sequence where he's looking at the camera, and on the screen there is the photo of him looking at the camera in this. It's a loop of that.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, are we recording right now? Mind blowing. Another movie, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. That though everyone knows Harold and Kumar. Stay Tuned is a movie I saw as a kid that I really loved. Basically, they are a mother and father who fight a lot. And what happens is Satan comes to their house and gives them a satellite. And after turning on the TV, they get sucked into the world of TV. So they keep switching from TV channel to TV channel. So suddenly there'll be animated cartoon characters. Suddenly they'll be in a boxing fight. And there, because it's Satan's TV, there are all these funny shows. So like The Exorcist, they made it The Exorcisist. So it's this chicksy cycling and her head is turning round and round. Very stupid, but a hilarious movie. There's a movie called They Live. This guy finds spectacles, like the sunglasses. And when he puts the sunglasses on, he realizes the whole world is actually filled with illusions. All the people are actually aliens. Like Free Guy right now did a very similar concept with the glasses and virtual listening. But so he removes and he sees the world. He puts it down, he sees aliens. He removes, he sees an ad. When he puts it down, there's just white slate with the text, obey.
It's a very good take on capitalism also.
It's basically a take on capitalism and how, we are controlled by everyone. And then eventually he starts killing the aliens. And there is an iconic line that has been used in so many movies where he enters the bank. He's got a shotgun and he's chewing gum. And he's like, I came to chew bubble gum and shoot aliens. And unfortunately, I'm all out of bubble gum. And then he starts shooting people. What a line! There's another movie called Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel, where 3 guys are in a bar and then someone from the future tells them that they need to go to the future, and then it's about back and forth time travel. Great movie. Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel. In terms of really silly stuff, Superbad, always my favorite. I've seen it way too many times. And This Is the End also I've seen way too many times. There were these guys called Jay and Silent Bob. So if you've ever seen Jay and Silent Bob, they've done a bunch of movies, but Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is hilarious. And along with that, a movie called Dogma, where 2 angels are trying to convince this lady to keep a baby so they can go back to heaven. And Alan Rickman, who's known as Professor Snape, was an angel in the movie. And there is a scene where he removes all his clothes and he has no genitals. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, angels are flat. And then he smacks it. I love parodies. So obviously Scary Movie and all I've seen, but the older parodies were legendary. If you've seen any movie with Leslie Nielsen, especially the Naked Gun series, Naked Gun was a police parody. Okay. And oh my God, the opening sequence of every Naked Gun was a siren on top of a car. And the car is going through a city. Suddenly the car is in a supermarket. Suddenly the car is in a swimming pool. Suddenly the car is going through Jurassic World. That's the level of parody that they had. And another version of that was Hot Shots Part 1 and Hot Shots Part 2. First movie was a Top Gun parody. Second movie was a Rambo parody. Now, why am I recommending Naked Gun and Hot Shots? It's because if you see Naked Gun and Hot Shots, all the movies, Houseful, Bouseful, all these movies have copied scenes from that. All of them. Another fantastic that should be part in the same list is called Airplane. Oh man, the jokes in Airplane are so sharp. They still stand the test of time. You watch them today and you're like, dude, how have they pulled off something so smart? So please do watch Naked Gun, Hot Shots, Airplane. Old movies, but fantastic. 2 movies in the comedy zone, and then we move into great sci-fi. Teen Titans Go to the Movies. It's an animated movie, but it is so funny because it's the only movie that makes fun of DC. So like Batman, Superman, everyone's watching a movie. And Stan Lee makes a cameo. This is the only DC movie in which Stan Lee has made a cameo. That's how meta they got. So please watch Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And Strange Wilderness. Strange Wilderness एक टीम है. They are a team of nature documentary film करते हैं, पर उनको पता नहीं है nature documentary कैसे करना. So they make these fake nature documentaries where they are shooting sharks and they're like, sharks are found in only 2 places in the world. The northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. It's damn dumb, dude. It's damn dumb. There is one sequence where he's like, bears, kill around 30,000 salmon a year.
Yeah.
But attack on bears by salmon is pretty rare. It's so stupid. Like, there are those movies where you're like, yaar, dimag nahi lagana. And then you're watching and you're like, I love it. Why is it so stupid? That's what Strange Wilderness is. Now, we will move from bizarre, absurd comedy to massive, beautiful sci-fi movies. I'm sure everyone will know Groundhog Day. Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, fantastic time loop. Now, two movies. Okay, one which came out recently, Andy Samberg, called Palm Springs. He's at a wedding and the time starts again and again. And then finally there's a girl he hooks up with and then she gets stuck in the time loop with him. Hilarious time loop movie. And the ultimate in time loop and utter stupidity. It's a movie called Premature, where every time the guy ejaculates, time starts again. And he wants to hook up with a girl. But every time he tries hooking up, it starts again. Oh, it's so funny. What a great premise. What a great premise. And every time it starts, right, when time loop starts now, he's in his room and his mom knocks the door. She opens the door and she's like, what are you doing? And he lives that same day again and again and again. So yeah, those are my funny movies in terms of this thing. In terms of sci-fi, Coherence.
अरे आपने जब पहले बोला था ना ऑब्सक्योर मूवीज में कोहेरेंस बोलने वाला था, बट देन आई वेंट विद वॉल्स विद वशीर को लगा मैंने इतना प्रमोट किया कोहेरेंस को इस चैनल पे, होली शिट. Very nice.
That's what I'm loving so far of this conversation. Vaibhav चुपचाप बैठ रहा है, ठीक है? Because I'm naming stuff and he's like, हाँ, नहीं देखा होगा. Coherence. Hey!
Oh, I'll give you a very good trivia about this movie. Dinner table था, उसमें conversation, there were like अलग-अलग couples. उनमें से एक, there was this lady जो थोड़ा 40s में लग रही थी, early 40s में. I don't remember her name, but the trivia is she is the director of season 3 episode 7 of Succession, Too Much Birthday. And she's also the partner of Bo Burnham.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So she's a director also. And she's directed Too Much Birthday. Kendall wala episode. I'm like, fuck.
That episode, fantastic. Being Bo Burnham's partner, oh my God, even better. Like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
And then being in Coherence as a
yeah.
movie. Fuck, what a mind-blowing movie. For everyone who's watching, I'll explain without giving spoilers. They are at a party. Suddenly they see a meteor. Suddenly different things start happening.
Yeah.
And they realize that there are...
मत बताइए.
ठीक है. मत बताऊंगा, तुम लोग देखो.
Actually, the whole point is when you get to see it the first time.
Yeah. Watch Coherence. I would highly recommend Coherence as a great movie that blows your mind. And along that note, there's another same time loop movie, a movie called Triangle, where this lady is on a ship and then she gets caught in a loop. There's also Primer and Time Crimes. Those are also two. Primer will blow your mind. If you look at the chart of how Primer was shot and the science fiction logic behind it and how the timelines intersect, you can't keep up with it. And in that vein, if we are talking about time, and because I love time, movies with time really fascinate me. I always recommend one of the most obscure movies ever. It's called The Man from Earth, and I would suggest everybody watch it. Very simple premise. 6 actors, 1 room. There is a professor. Before he's leaving, he calls all his friends over for dinner. While he's having dinner, he tells them, hey guys, what would you say if there was a man who has been living for 10,000 years? And his friends are like, dude, what bullshit. And each of them is a professor of history, geography, biology, and different things. And they're like, wait, you're saying for 1,000 years, he would have to evolve, right? And the professor's like, yeah, let's say he did evolve. Throughout the movie, you want to figure out, is the professor the guy who is actually living for 10,000 years, or is he making up a story? And when you watch that movie, everything, they cover religion, they cover philosophy, they cover history. It is 6 people acting in one room. It's a masterclass in low budget filmmaking and another ending that is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I literally, in my list, it's literally written, The Man from Earth, best movie with that ending. Wow. So these are the science fiction movies that I would recommend. Now I'm going to move on to horror. I love horror. People who know me, I love horror, and everyone who's watching who's seen my previous content will know I'm going to talk about, for me, the scariest movie I've ever seen. It's a Spanish movie called Rec.
अरे nice. Rec का Western version भी बना था.
Quarantine, not good.
Not good.
If you see the original Spanish version, Alone in the Dark, that is my challenge. Watch it Alone in the Dark, and I promise you, if you don't scream, I will change my name. I'll change it. I'll become Chagan Lal. I'll change it to something like that. You can't. That movie is scary. I have yelled. Another movie that I saw recently that I thoroughly enjoyed and also that recently got voted as the scariest movie of all time was a movie called Sinister. Very nice movie. Catches you off guard. Writer moves into a house where people were murdered and he starts seeing things. Not like The Shining, but very different. Another very nice movie. It's on Netflix, I think. It's called Hush. There's a deaf writer who is in a cabin and she's writing a book. And there's a guy who wants to kill her. And the beauty of this movie, because she's deaf, half of the time she doesn't know where he is. Oh, what a plot. What a plot. I love it. I love it. These are just three I'm going to talk about. And there is another, it's not horror, but it comes under the thriller zone. It's called Creep.
Oh, the Mark Duplass one. Yeah. Creep 2 is also very good.
Also, yeah.
It's very
So
good.
Mark Duplass is a guy who calls someone over saying that please be my
Yeah.
friend, and then it escalates. Very low budget, but very
Yeah.
well made. Since we are talking about horror, I will move on to another zone. We'll talk about thrillers. Okay. In terms of thrillers, I have to talk about Identity. It's a movie in which people are stuck in a hotel room and one by one they get murdered and no one knows who has done it.
Nice.
Best ending ever.
ये मैं देख रहा हूँ पता नहीं
Best.
क्यों मेरे को ये देखने कहाँ पे है ये पड़ी है कहीं
I don't know if it's there. I think it's on Prime. Identity. It's got John Cusack in it. And another one with similar Edward Norton in it. Best ending, Primal Fear. That ending gives me goosebumps every time. It was made in Hindi with Ajay Devgan as Divangi. But I would still say, please watch the original Ed Norton one. Movie that I saw recent, Ratsasan. Basically, it's a serial killer who is killing children and the policeman has to find him. I think if I'm not wrong, it's a Tamil movie. Please don't get angry in the comments. I'm a little confused. Don't get angry. I've given too many records. But Ratsasan, fantastic movie. Now I will quickly do two more zones. In terms of martial arts, please watch Raid 1, Raid 2. It's an Indonesian movie, but the way they have fought, oh my God, John Wick will be put to shame. Also in John Wick 2, two of them make a cameo. But if you're a fan of martial arts or just well choreographed action sequences, if you see the Raid and Raid 2, it's mesmerizing.
Wow.
And I had done action training for one random this thing, it's proper choreography. It's proper learning how to punch and all. But doing a 10-minute long sequence with axes and sickles and jumping and dude, it's on Prime. Raid and Raid 2, both of them are on Prime. Please watch it. It's an Indonesian martial arts movie, but it's considered the best martial arts movie in the world. I love Korean movies. Parasite, obviously, I've seen it 3 times. Apart from Parasite, 2 more echoes would be Oldboy. I think there's a running theme. I love saying that ending, but some of these movies, the endings just catch you off guard. And Oldboy's ending is just, you stare at the screen for 10 minutes because you're like,
yeah.
What did I just watch?
Oldboy का भी एक इंडियन वर्जन बना था बहुत
of course, Zinda. Please don't guys. India loves remaking Korean movies. So Badlapur and Ek Villain were remakes of this great Korean movie called I Saw the Devil.
मैंने बदलापुर अभी तक देखी नहीं, really sorry guys, but I Saw the Devil is great. It's a very good movie.
And it's very violent.
Very violent.
If you're faint of heart, please don't watch it. These are the movies that I wanted to list. I mean, obviously there are a lot more movies, but I wanted to list some obscure movies that people have not seen. And hopefully I have covered the entire zone of comedy, science fiction, thriller, horror, and just international cinema. So I hope that you guys have got some good movie records from me. Yeah. Fantastic. And now we will move on to the last segment of the show before my jaw falls to the ground. TV shows. And again, with TV shows, I'm going to try to apply the same rule. I'm going to try to apply the rule of making sure that I talk about shows that are obscure or shows that you may have not seen.
इसमें भी करो ना, वो पूछो ना. Tell me one.
ठीक है, चल. कर, पूछ. Give me a show. चल, give me a show. Give me a show.
Disha,
Give me
you
a show.
go first. Disha, you go first.
I think of something. मैंने वही सोचा था कि हिंदी वाला पूछूंगी, but
हिंदी वाला देखा है ना, साथ निभाना साथिया. And हमने ली है शपथ, super cops versus super villains. But ठीक है, give me a show.
I'll go. Olive Kittredge.
No, I have never heard of that show also.
ये मेरा एक मूवी क्लब है चलचित्र के. हम ना पेट्रन्स को एक मूवी क्लब देते हैं, मतलब ऐसे ग्रुप्स की एक्सेस देते हैं. I have a rule there. You have to have watched Olive. It's a HBO show. Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards वाली एक्टर है उसमें.
Man.
And Bill Murray is also there in it.
Dude, great. Thank you so much for this. Blow my mind away. I am always open for new records. Olive Kittredge, done, definitely.
Yeah.
So I know I said it 5 minutes ago, but there was the book Simon Rich, The Last Girlfriend on Earth. With that, he had come up with a TV show on that called Man Seeking Woman. And I find it really sad that not many people have seen this show. Jay Baruchel is a guy who is trying to find someone to date. And every normal situation is turned into an obscure situation in his world. So for example, let's say he's talking to someone. Next scene, he's hit on the head. When he wakes up, his nipples are clamped to electric wires and his mom is standing with electric wires. Who are you talking to? Give me details. He's like, I can't tell you. She shocks him. So that is made into an interrogation sequence. Or he's messaging a girl and he's like, shit, what should I reply? Suddenly he's in a room. There are 20 generals around a round table. And they're like, see, sir, our plan of action should be, how are you? That is very important. We should make sure that our target is on course. Then a scientist comes in. See, sir, according to research, if you reply, how are you? These are the possible options of her reply. You know what I mean to say, right? The basic sequences are turned into crazy. First, I think first or the second episode, he has to visit a wedding in hell because his ex-girlfriend is marrying Hitler. So he takes an escalator and they go down to hell. There's a demon who's like, thank you for your bag, sir. He touches the bag catches fire. I apologize, sir, but welcome to hell. I'll give you one more sequence because why not? Now y'all are here and y'all are hostage. He's dating someone and she's like, my friend's coming over. And he's like, who? And then comes in an octopus whose tentacles are genitalia. And he goes, Tanaka. And he starts swinging the genitalia. Oh. Guys, y'all are judging me very hard right now. And I don't care. Disha is like, क्या sir, क्या है ये? Yeah. But this is what it is. Man Seeking Woman. It's not available on any streaming platform, unfortunately. You have to find other ways to watch it. In the same zone of Man Seeking Woman, I'm going to go extremely bizarre and go through my list of really bizarre shows. So we've got Man Seeking Woman, we've got Eric Andre show. It's on YouTube. Eric Andre started this show many years ago with Hannibal Buress as a sidekick. And now they have become a duo. They recently shot a movie called Bad Trip where they're shooting pranks in real life. Eric Andre show is an anti-talk show. So basically every episode he goes to the mic and he's like, so like, what's up, right? Like pigeons, right? Pigeons, they died. And then this scattered audience going, it's like that. It's bizarre. It's very good. And every episode, he will break down his set. So he starts running around and he smacks into a set. He throws things up. I can't explain the show, guys. New York Street. Roads are blocked because there's this model doing a photo shoot and he's got a camera and he's like, all right, good one. And the man stops. Eric Andre pulls the camera down. He looks at the man. He has put makeup and he's got only one eye in the middle. And he goes, pay the toll. I can't explain. It's just, you have to watch it. If you like that stuff, you like it. If you don't, you don't. There's also another same zone called Comedy Bang Bang. Comedy Bang Bang is a podcast and they made a TV show out of it. To explain how bizarre it is, the host basically cracks a joke and then the camera pans to his dad in the audience going, good one, son, I love you. That's it. You're like, thanks, dad. Then his dad stares at him and walks away. So this is the zone I'm talking about. Wow. You know, when I'm talking about my comedy, it's a very bizarre. I like bizarre. Your mind can't process what have I seen. You know, in the same line, there is another show that lasted for 5-6 seasons called Tim and Eric. Awesome show. Great job. Nobody I know has seen it, but it is just so random. I can't explain it to you until you watch it, right? These are things I'm telling you. If you're someone who's interested, YouTube it. And you will be like, Sahil, what the fuck? Two sketch comedy shows that I would highly recommend because sketch comedy I enjoy. Kelsey Grammer's The Sketch Show. It used to come on Star World when I was growing up, but unfortunately it's not there, but you can YouTube some of the sketches. Very funny sketches. Little Britain. Little Britain was a show about all the characters that live in Britain. Any person who likes comedy, ask them if they've seen Monty Python's The Flying Circus. Monty Python was a British comedy troupe that did sketch comedy. The most famous sketch of this is something called the Ministry of Silly Walks, where John Cleese is walking like a crazy man on the road. And every 2 minutes, he changes his walk. And then some guy comes and he's like, I would want to join the ministry. And he's like, do you have a silly walk? And he tries to show a silly walk. It is an iconic sketch, And I remember I got myself also a watch that was a Ministry of Silly Walks watch. This was the watch I bought. That's John Cleese. And it's a very rare piece, but as the time goes, his legs go.
Oh, wow.
And you have to see the sketch to truly appreciate how iconic this watch is. Another show in the bizarre zone, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. It is an office comedy based in hell, where all the demons are working in office and Satan is like, okay, let's do a team meeting and let's do PR. Now, I will move on to a different zone. I'm going to move on to a few British shows. Peep Show is very, very, very good. All seasons are there on Netflix. Peep Show is hilarious because it was the show where outside sequences happen and then the camera goes inside and you can hear their thoughts. So the guy is talking, but the voice is like, what? Why the fuck is he? What? Oh no, oh no. And you can hear it happening from inside the head.
Nice.
So that's Peep Show. Another show, British. I mean, everyone would have spoken about it, but I'll put it on the list. Black Mirror. Taskmaster, I just came across and I thoroughly enjoy it. Taskmaster, every episode, 4 comedians are given really bizarre tasks that they have to do. There is one episode where I have laughed so much because they had to take a balloon and drop an egg into a pan using a balloon. It's very, very funny. So Taskmaster, all episodes are there on YouTube. You can watch full episodes on YouTube. IT Crowd, it's there on Netflix. The original UK IT Crowd was hilarious. And it had that very simple joke. Hello, IT department. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Done. That was the entire show about a group of nerds. For me, one of the prettiest shows that I have ever seen. I have convinced everyone I know to watch it. Season 1 was the best season ever. It was Utopia. I would say, please, guys, of all the records, find out how to watch Utopia Season 1, the British version. Every frame, it's beautiful.
Nice.
The story, it's beautiful. It's about a virus that is going to kill the world. And the code to the virus is in a comic book. Oh. So good. I'm also going to mention the Whitest Kids You Know, fantastic sketch show. Key and Peele, to obviously people will be watching. If not, go to YouTube, type Key and Peele. The Peter Serafinix Show. He's a British guy. Now he's coming in different movies. He was in John Wick also as the bartender who gives him guns. He did an entire parody of Steve Jobs. He like, well, you've heard of the MacBook Pro, introducing the Mac Teeny. And he shows like this really tiny computer with only one key. Just type Mac Teeny in YouTube, Peter Serafinowicz, or type Brian Butterfield. I'm giving a lot of recos, so I hope someone is writing it down. But Brian Butterfield, Peter Serafinowicz show on YouTube. There are a lot of these clips on YouTube. You will get into the show, then you'll want to download more episodes. We'll move on to American. Obviously, The Office, Seinfeld, you guys know that. But It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for me is the funniest show ever. It is a show that I keep on going back. Is there a show that you keep going back to? No matter what happens, you'll never get bored of it. Give me recos.
Succession for me.
Derry Girls.
I have to see Derry Girls. I've heard it's very, very good. I saw the boys version of it called The In-Betweeners. That was also extremely filthy and foul. But Derry Girls, I will check. Succession, I can understand. But it's too hardcore to go back to.
Or otherwise,
'Cause the plot-
Oswald. I like watching Oswald.
Oh, Shin-chan. Oh, मुझे शिमला मिर्च नहीं पसंद. It's Always Sunny ka premise is very simple. It was friends, but imagine if all the friends were assholes. Simple as that. It's a group of really horrible people doing horrible things every episode. And I'll give you a great context. There's one episode where they go to an amusement park, water park, and they realize that they can't get through because the lines are too big. And suddenly they see one bald kid walking by and they're like, what happened? And she's like, cancer patient. And the bald kid cuts through the line. And that's when they realize, wait, if we have a disease, we can cut through lines. And Danny DeVito is there. So they put marks on Danny DeVito and he runs around screaming, I have AIDS. I have AIDS. See, it's extremely deplorable what I am saying, guys. This is not my idea. These are not my words. Don't take it out of context. This is a show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. All episodes are there on Hotstar. It is also the longest running comedy series in the world with the 15th season just released. It's not that good, but season 1 to season 14, fantastic. South Park, always satire, stunning satire, great show to watch. What We Do in the Shadows as a movie and as a show is something that I urge everybody to watch. I didn't put it in the movie list, but Taika Waititi is a genius. If you ever see What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, it's a mockumentary about 3 vampires sharing a house. 4 vampires sharing a house. My wife and I love it. We have seen that movie so many times. We keep quoting it to each other. And they made a TV show version where that universe is explored. Vampires, witches, ghosts, zombies. The TV show is on Hotstar. Season 1 is good. Season 2 is nice. Season 3 is the best season of any comedy show I've seen. Wow. And I would highly recommend people to please watch the movie and then the show and you can thank me. Freaks and Geeks is a show that not many people have seen. It Seth Rogen, James Franco, all these people when they were young, they acted in this show. It's about school life, about the bullies, the nerds, and the freaks and the geeks. It's a very wholesome show. I don't know why it's not available anywhere, but I would definitely recommend watching Freaks and Geeks. And there's another show called The League that also is not available anywhere. It's about Mark Duplass in The League, by the way. And it's damn funny. It's about a bunch of guys who have formed a fantasy sports league and the nonsense they do to make sure they win in that league. It's immature. It is immature beyond reason, but it is funny. If you definitely like Taika Waititi, you'll enjoy Flight of the Conchords. It's a band. Have you seen Flight of the Conchords? Any video? Go to YouTube and watch Flight of the Conchords. Is a band that makes funny music. So they have a song which was very funny. It is a song called the Rhinoceros versus the Hip Hoppopotamus. Rhinoceros versus the Hip Hoppopotamus, and it is them singing. There's also a damn funny song. This is all on YouTube. They made a show about that. There's also Albie, the racist dragon. About a dragon who comes out, he's Albie, but he's a racist dragon. So it's very fun. 30 Rock, The Good Place, Cobra Kai right now, and Barry. Those are Barry is on Hotstar. These are some fantastic shows. Now I'm going to move on to two more segments. I'm going to move on to animated shows. I love watching animated shows. Attack on Titan season 4 is coming in a day. Attack on Titan is one of the best animes of all time. And I know people will disagree with me, but oh my God. I rarely see a show where I've binged it and I've also yelled, "What is happening? Shut up!" Attack on Titan is that sort of a show. If you don't watch anime also, watch one season of Attack on Titan. The writing, the way it is shot, the acting. Oh my God. I'm so excited for the new season. It's mind-blowing. Animated shows that people don't watch. A show called Adventure Time. It's on Netflix. It's a kids show, but it has a lot of adult content as well. Very, very, very funny. Gravity Falls. It's about two kids who move in with the uncle and weird things happen. So they try to explore it. Bob's Burgers, about a family that work in a burger shop. Very great show. And obviously, and Rick and Morty and all. Yeah, wo sab dekha hai, but I have to give you obscure. I'm telling you obscure. And last but not the least, regular show. Regular show, I can't explain. Just watch it. Okay. And if you watch it, if you've seen the show, then you will get this reference. Oh! If not, that's fine. Those are animated shows. And now I'm just going to end with some science fiction, because why not? Obscure science fiction. Obviously, Fringe, though a lot of people would have seen. If not, please watch Fringe. It's about a police officer working with a scientist and trying to explore unexplained phenomena till you realize that, I can't give a spoiler. I'm going to quickly pop in superheroes. May watch Gotham. It's the entire Batman before he became Batman, the introduction of the villains. It gets a little campy at times, but it's a lot of fun. And Harley Quinn, the animated show. Oh, it's so funny. It's an animated show where all the villains don't take themselves seriously. So like Bane is playing poker, Joker is throwing coffee on him, and he's like, that hurt. So it's really stupid. And yeah, now I will come to my last two echoes. And these for me are shows that are so obscure, but just so beautiful. One of them is called The Lost Room. It is a mini series, and I will explain what it is. There's a father. He has a daughter. Father would have a daughter and a son, but anyways, he has a young girl and he moves into a motel. And in this motel, there is one room that never gets opened. And there is a magical thing about the room. Something happened in that room many years ago, wherein if you enter the room and any object is relocated, when you close the door, that object gets put back in its original place. But if there is any object that does not belong to the room, that object disappears and you don't know where it has gone. So, and each object in the room has some properties that it can help with. And what happens is one day his daughter gets locked in the room. And when he opens the door, she is gone. And the rest of the 6 episodes are him trying to figure out what happened in the room. Why does the room behave like this? And how can he find his daughter?
Very nice.
People don't know the show exists. People don't know, but it is a masterpiece. Another show people don't know exists is a show called Jekyll. Before they made Sherlock, they had made Jekyll. It's a take on Jekyll and Hyde, where a guy realizes that he has Hyde-like personalities. And the ending of that show, and the last show that I'm going to leave you guys with, in terms of science fiction, for me was a very fun show, was a show called Sliders. I really like that show only for one reason, is because that really got me hooked onto the world of science fiction. I'm so sorry, I'm going to give a spoiler because I have to. Every episode, they jump from universe to universe. Universe to universe. They jump to a universe where Nazis won the World War. They jump to a universe where women are in control and men don't exist. You know what I mean to say? They keep jumping from universe to universe and they're like, we need to find our way back home. And one of the episodes, they jump back to a universe that looks like their universe. And they're like, is this home? Is this home? Could this be home? And he goes to his house ka gate and he moves it. And he's like, see, if my gate creaks, we are home. If it does not creak, we are not at home. He moves it and the gate doesn't creak. And he's like, you know what? I guess we'll have to keep finding. He opens a portal. They go through the portal. The portal shuts. His house ka main door opens.
And it creaks.
A repairman comes out. His mother comes out.
Wow.
I'm so glad we managed to fix the gate.
Oh no.
I really hope they come back. And that's how the episode ends.
Oh, this was good.
So yeah, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all the people who are having existential problems, I would like to end my list of recommendations. There is a lot that I would still love to talk about, but unfortunately, I don't want to keep talking because my mouth is hurting. I'm sure your ears also would be hurting. But I really hope that I have introduced you to at least something new, if not lots, in terms of books, content, and some good old games.
Yeah.
This is very
Right.
nice. Thank you so much.
So in case if anyone does enjoy this episode and if people thoroughly do, and if you all want to do a part 2 of a part 2, I will be more than happy to come and talk about everything on my watch list, rate list, and playlist. 2 things before I go. Number 1, thank you so much. Number 2, if you enjoyed this, and this is something that they've not asked, smash the like button, smash it, dabao, like button, dabao, leave a positive comment below saying, oh my God, this was so good and Sahil is so cute. And subscribe button, dabao, subscribe to them. They've been doing this for so long, they need more subscribers. So please press the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel also.
Yeah, guys.
मुझे भी थोड़े subscribers चाहिए तो डाल दो. I am trying to get to 100k. तो वो करो तो if you enjoy this. But more importantly,
100k करा दो. जल्दी से दोनों के 100k करा दो.
इतनी सी बस इतना सा ही विषय, or maybe we'll go to a parallel universe where we are 99.9k and then we zoom out.
Great.
Thank you everybody.
Thank you so much.
Much pyar. Thank you so much guys. Thank you.